Hello guys, welcome to Very Simplified. Now, this is the second part of INI CET November 2021 recall based question. And in the first part, I have shared around 50 questions, and in this next part also, I'm going to share around 50 recall questions of the INI CET November 2021 conducted on 14th of November. So, before going further, I just want to tell that I have already uploaded one part where there are 50 questions, and I request you that if you have not seen it, just go and watch it. And the basic aim is to know the topic from where the question has been asked, and so that preparing for any exam, it will help you to know the important topics from where the questions are being asked nowadays. So the 51st question here with us is image was given. This was the image, right? And it was asked, four options were there as usual, but two options had nutmeg liver and two options had something else. So the image was definitely of nutmeg liver. So I have remembered just these two options with me, and the options were as follows: nutmeg liver, CVC with dark area viable and gray area necrosis. Whereas and other option was CVC with dark area necrosed and gray area viable. So the correct answer here is the nutmeg liver, CVC with dark area necrosed and gray area viable. Now, there was a patient of CLL, and smudge cell was positive was seen, SAID, and the definitive diagnosis of the same was asked, like how will you do the definitive diagnosis? So the correct answer here should be, the options were cytogenetics, flow cytometry, bone marrow biopsy, and peripheral smear, or fish was the option. I don't remember the fourth option, but definitely the fourth option was not the correct choice. Cytogenetics is also not the correct answer. The options in which the students were in, even I was confused, was between flow cytometry and bone marrow biopsy. The correct answer here should be flow cytometry to do the definitive diagnosis of the CLL. Now, a patient with a 20-year history of working in an industry, I don't remember which industry it was written or whether it was written or not, but the patient had a history of dyspnea, cough, and pleural thickening on X-ray, right, on chest X-ray. And this image was given along with the history. And this image, you can find that this is a asbestos body or a ferruginous body, right? And this is usually or basically seen in a asbestosis. Coal worker, not the correct answer. Silica was not the correct answer. Cotton was also not the correct answer, because this image was given and this was directly asbestos or a ferruginous body, also called as a sheikh kebab appearance. Sheikh kebab, I don't remember the exact spelling, I'm sorry. Sheikh kebab appearance is also said for this body. So this was the question, and the correct answer here was asbestosis. A 32-year-old patient with a history of dyspnea, again on exertion for 1 month. Chest pain was present. AIN, I'm sorry, typo mistake this is. So pain was present, and a history of mitral stenosis was given, and valve resection was done. And what can be the cause? Right, mitral stenosis, as much as remember, has direct relation with rheumatic heart disease. An image was given, not this exact image, but a similar kind of image was given with a bunch of caterpillar cell, I will say. And this is Astroff bodies seen in rheumatic heart disease. Similar kind of question was even asked in NEET PG this year. So according to the recall, I have got help from my friends also to frame this question. And according to all of us, it was mitral stenosis was definitely there, and it was mitral stenosis, then it should be rheumatic heart disease, directly relation, and the answer should be Astroff body and the rheumatic heart disease. Now, next question again, patient with a low-grade fever, cough, and necrosis on the apex of the lungs. What can be the mechanism of it? This is a direct answer: epithelioid, giant cell, or macrophage. Other options were enzymatic degradation, sudden cutoff of blood supply, and hypersensitivity with neutrophil or neutrophilia, something of that. So the correct answer here was epithelioid, giant cell, and macrophage. Next question, a bit of controversial question, totally based on recall. Mutation was there, a karyotype was given, right, on 13th or 14th as per the recalls. There was a arrow given, and it was asked which type of chromosome it is, right? So before going to the question, just recall that what is the, just revise the types of chromosome. It is metacentric, submetacentric, acrocentric, or telocentric. Now this name is basically given on the basis of the location of the centromere. If the centromere is located on the center and both the arms are equal, it is metacentric. If it is located away from the center, not away, nearby the center, but the arms are unequal in length, then it is submetacentric. If it is towards the end, it is acrocentric, and if it is on the end, it is telocentric. As per my recall, as per my as much I remember, it was a acrocentric chromosome which was pointed with the arrow. So the correct answer here is acrocentric. Not true about the frozen section, right? So one option was done every time in all cancer related to sentinel lymph node diagnosis or biopsy, right? Helps to check the margin for resection in surgery and used for metastasis diagnosis. Now this is true. Sentinel lymph node biopsy. Check the margin for the resection of surgery is also true. Now I don't remember the fourth option very well. This is with help of my few friends that it was given used for diagnosis of metastasis. But the definitive option which I remember was done every time in all cancer, and according to me, the answer should be this one. Now, a known case of heart failure was given, severe anemia was there, 2 units of whole blood was given, and what can be the condition? So basically, this question was asking about TACO. Okay, and in TACO, BNP increases, chest X-ray, we can see something, dyspnea and hypertension is seen. So according to me, the option with A, B, F, and G should be the correct answer. Now, asymptomatic child with the following lesion in hand and shaft of penis, and the hand diagram of the hand was given with such small lesions, and the correct answer here was lichen nitidus. Now, the question was at what dose of dopamine can be used as a beta receptor? The correct answer was 22 to 10 micrograms per minute, I guess, was given in all the options with it. I don't remember, but the correct answer here was 2 to 10 microgram. Now, hypokalemic metabolic alkalosis with hypertension is seen in. Fourth option here was, I think, I don't remember exactly, was Gordon syndrome. So that was not the correct answer for sure, whatever was the fourth option. Now, this 3 options were there. Bartter syndrome, usually it is normal BP, normal blood pressure, and Gitelman syndrome, I think, has hyperkalemic. So the correct answer here should be Liddle syndrome by exclusion. Now, this image was given from ophthalmology, and it was asked what kind of chart it is or identify the image. Options were Snellen's chart, ETDRS chart, Hess chart, and Pelly-Robinson chart. This is a Hess chart. Now, identify the step of cataract surgery. Once again, a controversial question. This controversial questions, I'll say they are the questions to satisfy the ego of the examiner, because these are the questions said by the examiner who are saddest, definitely, because they want that pleasure that students are not able to answer this correct or not able to recall this correct. So once again, this image was given and it was asked identify the step of cataract surgery. Options were capsulorhexis, IOL insertion, lens aspiration, and hydrodissection. IOL insertion and lens aspiration was not the answer. Now the doubt is capsulorhexis and hydrodissection. Why I'm saying hydrodissection? That as much as I remember the image, there was a hydrodissection cannula present. So if I am right, if the hydrodissection cannula was present, then it should be a hydrodissection. Otherwise, it is a capsulorhexis. Capsulorhexis. So this is an image of capsulorhexis, and this is an image of hydrodissection. So according to the recall, there was a cannula present. This hydrodissection cannula was present in the image. So if the image is correctly recalled, then the answer should be hydrodissection, not capsulorhexis. Now the sternum was given, sorry, the clavicle was given, and it was asked that most specific complication if the central line is inserted below this bone, and the correct answer here was chylothorax. Other options were empyema, arterial puncture, and thrombophlebitis. But the correct answer was chylothorax. Frequency of tetanic stimulus with some values were given. The correct answer here should be 50 hertz. Maximum O2 flow rate through a conventional oxygen mask. 5 liter and 20 liter is definitely not the answer, but the doubt is between 10 and 15 liter. And according to me, it should be a 10 liter. Now, a patient of RTA rushed to the emergency department, cannula is inserted, and the flow rate of the cannula was given, option was given, and it was asked what is the flow rate of the cannula. Again, a saddest type of question, because in different literature, different flow rate of cannula was given. So, and the options 66 is not, definitely not, because it is for pink cannula, if I'm not wrong, but 86, 96, and 106. Whenever a patient comes to an emergency department, you insert a 2 wide bore cannula of 18 gauge. So it is a green cannula, 18 gauge, definitely. Now the flow rate differently are different in different literature. Somewhere it is 90, somewhere it is 103 or 105. Now if it is 90 and options are 86 and 96, so the closer option is 86, not 96. So 96 is removed. But other option was 106, which is very much closer to 105 and 103. I have found an image from a very decent textbook, and where the flow rate of the cannula was written 103 for a 18 gauge cannula. So according to this table, I will go with the answer of 106 ml per minute. This is the color coding of the cannula. It is from orange, gray, green, pink, blue, and yellow. Green is inserted in a emergency department, 2 wide bore cannula. Gray is 16 gauge, orange is 14 gauge with the maximum flow rate. Yellow is the smallest one. And now one more is there, that is white color cannula, that is 17 gauge. So this is something which is again a controversial question, or a saddest type of question given by a examiner to satisfy his input. Now, which of the following can be best utilized for induction and maintenance of endotracheal tube intubation? Right? So desflurane, sevoflurane, halothane, and isoflurane. So isoflurane and desflurane are definitely not the answer. Now 2 options are left with us, sevoflurane and halothane. The correct answer here was sevoflurane. Hepatitis B subunit vaccine is derived from which antigen? HBE antigen, HBS antigen, again HBE. It was, I think, HBE, HBS, HBC antigen, and HBV DNA. The correct answer here is HBS antigen. In which congenital heart disease equal saturation of all chambers are seen? Option were tricuspid atresia, TAPVC, TOF, TGA. If you remember TAPVC, we see the snowman appearance or a figure of 8 appearance, right? In due to which I went with the answer with TAPVC, that all chambers are equally saturated. So that is why we get that figure of 8 or a snowman's appearance, right? So if we divide it, so saturation is seen equally in all the chambers of the heart. Now some history with the following image was given, and it was asked to identify the disease, right? Identify the disease or whatever it is. So very much sure that it was a middle turbinate which was highly pneumatized. So Onodi cell is seen in ethmoidal, so it is not the answer. Haller cell is also not the answer. Now again, the doubt was between pneumatized superior turbinate and concha bullosa. It was not superior turbinate. The correct answer here is concha bullosa. It was unilateral, but in this image I have given bilateral. It was a unilateral concha bullosa. Which of the following can be used for the diagnosis of placenta accreta? 1, 2, 3, 4 was given. 1 was MRI, 2 was USG, 3 was angiography, and 4 was radiography. And the options, option A was only A is correct. 1 and 2 can be used, 2 and 3 can be used, all can be used. So here we can only use MRI and USG for diagnosis of placenta accreta. So the correct answer here goes B. That is 1 and 2 can be used. That is MRI and USG for the diagnosis of placenta accreta. Now match the following. Again, the examiners were very keen to force the student to utilize their time, right? So the match the following, it is kind of easy sometimes if you get two correct and the options are given in such a way that you will definitely get the correct answer, but sometimes it is not like that. So GCT, osteoid osteoma, osteosarcoma, and simple bone cysts. So these are bone tumors. And wide excision, radio frequency ablation, intralesional steroid, and curettage. This is the management for them. So you were asked to match the following with the ABC was given with different permutations and combination. First, let's match the following and we'll write the correct answer here, right? So GCT, I will leave it here. Osteoid osteoma is definitely radio frequency ablation. That is what I remember. For osteosarcoma, we do wide excision. For bone cyst, we do intralesional steroid. So definitely the remaining is GCT, for which we will do curettage. Okay. So the correct answer here goes that 1 is D, 2 is B, 3 is A, and 4 is C. So this is the correct sequence according to my knowledge. Going further, 74th question, patient present with bleeding and hemarthrosis, after he was prescribed some medication for 1 month, 1 week back, sorry. Which drug mostly could be? So which of the drug can cause bleeding and hemarthrosis? This was asked, and the patient was prescribed a medicine 1 week before. So these are the 3 options. It was one more option was there, I don't remember, but the correct answer is among these 3. All were cephalosporin. The 4th option was also cephalosporins. So the correct answer here is cefoperazone. Now, 75th question. Which of the following is not used for the treatment? And similar kind of image, very light acne was given, right? Now the options are benzoyl peroxide, retinoid ointment, fluoroquinolone, and adapalene. Now here their acne have of few types, and in different acne, different medications can be used. But benzoyl peroxide is used for acne treatment, right? Retinoid ointment is also used for acne treatment. Fluoroquinolone is steroids, and usually we should not use steroids for acne treatment. And last option was adapalene, which is also used for acne treatment. So the correct answer here should be fluoroquinolone. Fluoroquinolone, which is not used for acne treatment. It can be used in acne fulminans, if I'm not wrong. Right. So that is the correct answer here. That is fluoroquinolone. Now, a dematicious black fungus among the following is. Options were blastomycosis, mucor species, cladosporium, and aspergillus. Blastomycosis is definitely not the answer. Now, this 3 option is what the students have marked, even including me. I have marked one of these 3 options. I will not tell because I was wrong. So, mucor species, that is mucormycosis, is called as black fungus now. But the question was dematicious black fungus, right? Cladosporium is a chromoblastomycosis. And Aspergillus niger gives a black appearance, if I'm not wrong. So these were the reasons where one of the 3 options were marked. Here the correct answer should be Cladosporium, that is chromoblastomycosis. Now, similar image was there, similar or not, same image was there, and it was asked attachment and effacement lesion is caused by which of the following E. coli. DAEC was not the answer. Enteroinvasive, the history of diarrhea was given, right? Red diarrhea or bloody diarrhea was given. I don't know exactly, red or bloody diarrhea was written, but diarrhea was definitely there. So attachment effacement lesion is caused by which E. coli. This image is of EPEC. So the answer should be EPEC, right? EPEC. ETEC causes traveler's diarrhea. This is one thing you can just write it. Now, a man from Bihar with a childhood history of fever, prolonged fever, with nodular lesion on face and neck, and there was no hypothesia and no nerve thickening. No hypothesia, no nerve thickening. Diagnosis was asked. The similar kind of image was given, not the exact image. The correct answer here was post Kala-Azar dermal leishmaniasis. A person with a prick injury history, not the gardener. Gardener was not given. Definitely, gardener was not given. Normal person with a prick injury history came with the following skin lesion, and if you see, the skin lesion was following a lymphatics, right? And in question also, it was written this lesion was following lymphatics. So what could be the answer? Definitely, the correct answer here is Sporotrichia K. Other option was given M. ulcerans, and other two options were there, which I don't remember. The correct answer here is Sporotrichia. Now, sodium iodide symport is not found in. It is found in thyroid. It is found in salivary gland. It is found in placenta, but it is not found in pituitary gland. So this is the correct answer. Not found in pituitary gland. Vobel hypothesis is for which property of genetic code? It is for degeneracy. It is for degeneracy. Now, laws related to insanity. 4 laws were given: Ashley's rule, Curran's rule, Durham's rule, and Murphy's rule. And the options were 1 and 2 are correct, that is Ashley and Durham. 2 and 3 are correct, that is Durham and Curran. 3 and 4 are correct, that is Murphy and Curran. And 1 or 4 are correct, that is Ashley and Murphy. So Ashley and Murphy are definitely not the rule for insanity. So 1 and 2, wherever 1 is there, that cannot be the answer. 3 and 4, wherever 4 is there, that cannot be answered. So the correct answer here is 2 and 3. That is Durham's and Curran's rule. Now, a female was brought in casualty with a lacerated wound over anterior chest wall and multiple small abrasion and laceration over abdominal wall. Which of the following can be true regarding the mechanism of injury? Fire burn? No. Due to barotrauma? Question mark. Flying missiles? Question mark. Falling of building? Can be there. But the correct answer here was flying missiles. Acute treatment for cluster headache. Now, this is something where people have marked oral sumatriptan, but the correct answer here is subcutaneous sumatriptan. I have confirmed it from a few literature and journals, and the answer was written subcutaneous sumatriptan. Now, patient of cirrhosis, ascites, and pedal edema came to hospital, preferred diuretics for mobilization of fluid. Many people said that furosemide can be the answer, but the correct answer here is eplerenone, not furosemide. Chlorothiazide and triamterene is definitely not the answer. Now, not true regarding SIADH. It was given. Patient is euvolemic. Yes, it is true. This is true. Urine osmolarity more than 100 is true. Serum sodium is less than 135 is true. Urine sodium is less than 20 is false. So this can be the correct answer. That is urine sodium less than. Now, a patient with a second grade injury, grade 2 or second grade primary pulmonary hypertension, vasoreactive test was negative. Right. So next step of management should be ambricetin. No carbofrost, no illofrost. Hypoxemia with a normal alveolar arterial gradient is seen in hypoventilation. RL shunt is not the answer. VQ mismatch and alveolar membrane disease is not the answer. Correct answer is definitely hypoventilation. Which of the following can cause obstruction in a newborn male child? It is definitely posterior urethral wall. Now, again, what's it? Controversial question or saddest question or ego satisfying question for the examiner. Diagnosis was asked. I remember there was 2 along with the radiography, whatever it was, CT or MRI. There was this kind of image, and it surely shows that it was an inverted papilloma. No maxillary cancer, no esthesioneuroblastoma, because in esthesioneuroblastoma, it should have went till the meninges or the neurons, brain. It was not occurring. So the correct answer here was inverted papilloma for sure. CRISPR-Cas9 uses which DNA repair mechanism? It uses non-homologous end joining repair. Drug to be avoided in the patient of angle closure glaucoma with depression: sertraline, fluoxetine, and amitriptyline. The correct answer is amitriptyline. 10 weeks primary, fresh blood PV, and the size of uterus was 12 weeks, and this image was given. This is called as snowstorm appearance. snow storm appearance, right? And this is seen in high datiform mode, not in the portion. So the correct answer here is high datiform mode. Now, which of the following is not glucogenic? Acetyl oxaloacetate, acetyl-CoA, pyruvate, and lactate. These two are definitely glucogenic. We have learned it from glycolysis, right? And the options are acetyl-CoA and oxaloacetate. Correct answer here should be acetyl-CoA. Oxaloacetate is glucogenic. Which of the following is not done in meta-analysis? Meta-analysis. Selection is done. Yes. Done. Abstraction is done. Yes. Randomization is done. No. Analysis is done. Yes. So correct answer here is randomization. C. Maximum energy expenditure is observed for assimilation of which of the following substance? MUFA, PUFA, protein, and carbs. The correct answer here is protein. Saquinavir is combined with which drug to prolong the action? Ganciclovir? No. Rotenavir can be. Cimetidine? No. Vitamin C? No. So the correct answer here is ritonavir. Some history was given, long history, and then these options were given: mental obtundation, jaundice, melena, fever, hematemesis, and hypotension. And the next line was, which of the following is a part of Raynaud's pentad along with pain? So pain was already given, and other four options you will have to choose. So the correct answer here is mental obtundation is a part of Raynaud's pentad. Jaundice is a part of Raynaud's pentad. Melena is not a part of Raynaud's pentad. Fever is seen in Raynaud's pentad. Hematemesis is also not seen in Raynaud's pentad, and hypotension is seen in Raynaud's pentad. So the answer here should be A, B, D, and F. So Raynaud's pentad is pain, fever, jaundice. If I'm not wrong, this is Charcot's triad. I don't remember exactly which triad it is. So pain, fever, jaundice, and then in pentad it is mental obtundation and hypotension. So this was the correct options. That is mental obtundation, jaundice, fever, and hypotension. Pain was already given in the question. Now, which of the following are the causes for neonatal seizures? Options were hyponatremia, hypomagnesemia, hypokalemia, and hypocalcemia. Here the question ends, and the options were A is 1, 2, 3, that is hyponatremia, hypomagnesemia, hypokalemia, and hypocalcemia. Option B was 2, 3, 4, that is hypomagnesia, hypokalemia, and hypocalcemia. Option C was 1 and 3, that is hyponatremia and hypokalemia. And option D was hypomagnesia and hypocalcemia. So correct answer here is hypomagnesia and hypocalcemia. So the option which goes with this is D. Now on exertion, O2 consumption is 1500 ml, while basal O2 utilization is 250 ml. What is the metabolic equivalent equation? So MET is usually O2 consumption upon basal utilization. O2 consumption upon basal utilization. It should be 1500 by 250. 0 gone. So it is 25 into 6. That is 150. The correct answer here is 6, 150. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you got few of the controversial questions in this video, but I have definitely tried to answer the best out of them. Thanks for watching this video. Hope you found this video useful. Do share it with your friends. Do not forget to watch the first part of this video and subscribe to my channel, MediSimplified. Thank you.